dragging this bitch. Okay, hello there, Lenek here, hope you're doing well. So I have a small update, I've done a couple of changes. I added constricting command, and there are some upsides adding constricting command and downsides. I'll start with the downsides. Well, basically we do lose some life, and we do lose some tankiness. And it's quite a huge amount. I think it was like 10,000 armor. I have improved my gear a little bit, so I have almost similar armor without as previously on the previous update. But the upside is that this gives quite a ton amount of damage, which honestly you will need if you want to do 200% delirium, because the tankiness is just insane in those maps, and honestly the constricting command does help. But you do suffer being a little bit more squishier, because we do lose percent armor applies to elemental damage, we do lose a bit of life, strength, potential resistances and other stuff like that. So, but if for damage purposes, if you just do normal maps and stuff, then I think Constricted Command is very much worth it. Even in 200% Delirium, I think Constricting Command is still worth it, because as you progress, you will eventually, for example, my gloves. I could eventually find gloves that give me 700, 800 armor. And if I had gloves, for example, that given me 800 armor, that 800 armor is basically being doubled throughout the Ironbound Scotland, I think it's called. Yeah, this, because we get 1%, 1 evasion per 1 item armor, and we're converting evasion into armor, so 800 armor gloves would be 1600. So there is still a lot of stuff that we can get much tankier. Like now I'm sitting at 50,000 armor, and that's, well, not being surrounded, anything else. So it's not that bad. While I'm surrounded, I think this number goes to like 55, 56. I'm not sure, but we do lose some tankiness. But for damage purposes, this is amazing. I've run Constricted Command in almost all my warrior builds from previous leagues. So just keep that in mind. If you do go with Constricted Command and your gear is a little bit worse, keep in mind you are much squishier and you will have a higher chance of dying. Unless you fix your resistances and armor values and stuff like that. So that's it. And also, while you're searching for constructed command, I know it does says here that it can roll. Oh, they removed it because previously you could roll from 1 to 5, which you need just 4 to be minimum surrounded because it can't go below 1. So 4 is enough. If you see, I don't know if they removed it or not, but if you do see that, it will say something like requires 5 fewer enemies, but the price is just absurd. Don't buy it. A 2-socket constructed command, I do believe you can buy for 2 divines, so it's not expensive compared to a endgame helmet. Constructed command for 2 divines is very well worth paying for. So, what else did change? My body armor did change. So just the armor, I sold the 1800 one, got this one instead. I do believe this armor piece had lightning resistance. So when you're searching for items, because I completely forgot we have new items that we can craft better. So this armor had lightning resistance. So when you're going to be searching for like a armor piece better, and you see that this armor piece has cold damage, but I mean cold resistance, but I don't need cold resistance. You can use these fluxes, and you can change the resistance type. Like this says, transforms all cold and lightning resistance to 5, for example. And this is what I did with my armor piece. So you have a little bit more freedom when buying items because you can always convert the resistance. This is what I did with my belt. This belt had lightning resistance and cold resistance, and I converted that to chaos resistance. It has a ridiculous amount of chaos resistance, 55%. The desecration was already there. But yeah, this is how you can basically buy any item in the game you want, and you can just convert the resistance to what you need. And this is fantastic because we have a little bit more freedom than from previous leagues. Same thing here. I do believe I did have fire and cold. No, I had fire and lightning, and I just converted both of these to lightning because I was lacking a little bit of lightning. So it's fantastic having those fluxes, and they are not expensive. The Chaos one is a little bit more expensive. Just switch these. Like this, you can buy. I need to switch these again. It's like 7 exalts. It's not really that expensive. The Chaos one is 16 exalts, so they are not even expensive, and they give you so much freedom to basically get the items you want. So nothing really has changed other than this ring I've got with a little bit more fire damage and the body armor, but it's still the same. You want to look for strength, life, resistance, elemental. I mean, armor applies to elemental damage. Honestly, in the future, I do plan to get a better amulet. For example, I do have a prefix here that gives me increased armor. Instead of that, I would prefer to have projectiles. I mean, skills to projectiles. I do believe I do have even an amulet here prepared for that. So I have +3 to projectile skills and spirit. I would probably want to remove the spirit, and at some point I might get percent strength with strength and all attributes, stuff like that with maximum life. I mean that's a expensive craft, so I'm not doing it so far right now. But and also I've been having a lot of questions. How do I get values from charge regulations? How do I get endurance charges? You do want to allocate thermorautic generator. This is basically going to be generating your endurance charges based on how much support or what type of support gems you have. So if you go to your support gems, you have at the very bottom strength 24, dex 7, and intelligence 7. So because I have more strength, the red ones, I'll be gaining more often endurance charges every 5 seconds. And this is fantastic for charge regulation because we're getting more armor, and also at the same time for our ancestral cry, because with 3 charges we can activate this. I mean, we can even activate this with 1 endurance charge, but it's more worth it with 3 as I made some changes that this buff from Ancestral Cry lasts for more than 1 minute. So not really too much stuff has changed with the gear, but with the gear, it really doesn't matter what you buy, because honestly, with the resistance type, because you can always convert this lighting. I mean, you can't on these gloves because it's corrupted, but if it wasn't corrupted, you can convert this lighting into fire damage if you're lacking fire damage and you need that type. Other than that, the only thing that changed, I removed Sunder. I do believe Leap Slam is a little bit faster, to be honest, and support gems, I do have Fist of All 3, Holy Descent, we do get 5% percent healing. At the same time, we have 50% reduced effect of curses on us, so that's fantastic to have. Magnified Area 2, Bramble Sound, we are still going to be using Bramble Sound so we can proc Molten Shower more often, especially in places where we land, and I've added Crater, because Crater will also proc Molten Shower. Other than that, honestly, nothing really has changed, other than I have Berserk now, and Berserk, I think I had it on both weapon sets. Yeah, so Berserk is going to be on both weapon sets, so it's just going to be increasing our damage further. Basically, with this setup, once I'm in map, when I'm surrounded with all my buffs from Ancestral Cry, from the Rite of Passage, this number, it does look low, 6,000, but it goes up to 25,000 while I'm mapping. So just keep that in mind. I know it looks small right now, but in mapping it goes up to 25,000. So don't worry about that, because you get all the buffs from Constricted Command. Now, the passive tree. A couple of stuff has changed. Of course, we're going to be pathing over here for weapons number 1, some skill speed and skill effect duration increase. This will allow you to have the Ancestral Cry last longer. Over here, I have 3 points for weapons number 2. And over here, you're going to grab yourself also more skill speed. Thanks to these literally 7 notes, you're going to have your Ancestral Cry for more longer than 1 minute. And it's just more easy to farm. Because the main issue was that we did proc Ancestral Cry, but it lasted like 30 seconds. And that is just not enough, because it's first of all annoying to deal with, that you need to again ignite and use your Leap Slam to finally get your Ancestral Cry to activate. Lower here you have for weapons at number 3. Honestly, we don't really need attack speed because we're everywhere just walking around, and all your Ancestral boosted over here for weapons number 1. Other than that, we have to go way down here. So now we are taking all these notes that are giving us increased effect, attack while we're surrounded. This one is quite insane. You get 100% increased attack damage while surrounded. We do have 30% less accuracy rating, but honestly, with just 60 dexterity that I have right now, and with just precision 1, we go to my Leap Slam. We have accuracy, I'm sitting at 100%. And at 5 meters, it's 95%. But honestly, more than 2% doesn't matter, because either way, we're hitting targets and Molten Showers will still hit. So this really doesn't affect us as that much. And then you're going to grab your 2 points over here. Another 30% attack damage. And another 25 attack damage. And honestly, I think you can potentially stack this up 4 times. For example, you get 25 when you're low on life, you get 25 when you're surrounded, when you have no flask, life flask uses left, and when you, if you have been heavy stun, So you do have potential to proc this to 100%. Honestly, probably not going to be able to do that, but still 25% while surrounded is nice to have. Over here, I'm honestly not going to be putting this for any weapon set, because I do want to have cooldown reduction on both weapon sets. And final notes are over here, some more damage and armor. You do want to increase the effect of Surrounded, because Surrounded has 3 meters, and with this it's going to have for 0.5 meters. And I can basically show you, if I do find it quickly enough. Right, we're gonna move this to the right side. So now if I go, let's find something with presence. So this one has presence. So presence has 4 meters. So this is roughly an idea how large of area you need. So with this, honestly, this is 4 meters. That's like quite wide enough. So that's the circle you need monsters to be in to have the full effect of your constricted command and surrounded buffs. So it's quite a big circle, to be honest. Like, it's almost like Leap Slam, to be honest. Right, I'm gonna change that back now. Don't know why it has to always lag like that. And over here, I have not put these on any weapon sets. Also, I'm gonna keep them on both weapon sets because either way, I have this on 0.12 seconds cooldown. So I'm proccing this often, and I don't think it's really worth going lower. I mean, we could get always boots. There is a way to get on boots 30% increase cooldown recovery, but that would take us to 0.11. I don't really think it's worth it, to be honest. Yeah, and for the jewels, you do want timeless rubies. What you're gonna be basically looking here for is increased armor or increased fire damage, but you do want fire penetration. That's one thing you want, and you do want to have increased effect of small passives. This does work with Hulking Form. As you know, Hulking Form increases the effect of your small passives by 30%, and we're just adding even more power to our small passive nodes. So like these ones are given now as 33%. This would probably give 4 to rage if I had this one at 25, I'm not sure. And over here I do have one that has 25 effect. Increase with fire damage and penetration. So basically you do want to have kind of these 3 stats on the timeless rubies. It can be 1%, it can be 2%, it can, the increase of effect of small passive, it can be lower than 25. Honestly, it doesn't matter, but we do want to increase a little bit more damage since we are already investing into these, and I do believe other than that, nothing has changed. I do know I here have a notable that gives me rage on melee hits. I would not be really looking for stuff like that. This one was more expensive, 60 divines, and it was 60 divines because of the notable, while this one doesn't have the notable, it was 10 divines. But then again, the problem is, how am I going to be generating rage while mapping? Well, you could always take your Heart of the Well and you could get rage on melee hit over there, for example. Or you could also remove somewhere 2 points, for example, from the cooldowns, and then you could put them over here to gain rage on melee hit, for example. You could do that. I do believe here's one also, yeah, but then you would need to invest 3 points. So you always will have some way, some sacrifices to make till you get the items you need to generate rage. And also I forgot to mention there's a point over here, and for weapon set number 2, more fire penetration. Since pinnacle bosses always have 75 fire resistance, we do want to have as much as possible. And I do believe that's all the changes I've made so far in the couple days. So I'll still keep you guys updated because there's still a lot to improve. And yeah, I'll think also about if I want to keep the constricted command, because even the previous version had enough damage to do all content in the game. And I kind of don't like losing this much tankiness, but damage is damage, and I think I'll just stick with it. So thank you for watching. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you guys in the next video.